Everyone knows the story of the flood, Noah and the flood, how God destroyed the world and he built an ark and he was saved. There's so many interesting details in the story that the Torah shares with us. I want to point out one or two of them. You see, when Noah builds the ark, he knows exactly why he's building it. God tells him his plan to destroy the world. Well, you would think that once he finished building the ark, that he would go into it anxiously awaiting to be saved from the flood waters. Yet, he doesn't go into it. God has to tell him, Boyol Ateva, go into the ark. Interestingly enough, at the end of the story of the flood, when the waters dry up and he's ready to go out, you would expect once again that Noah would be anxious to run out of the ark, not just walk out of the ark. Who wants to be? If I was in the ark for a year, couldn't wait for the moment I can leave. Yet he doesn't leave so fast. He has to be told by God, Tsei min hateva, go out of the ark. Why is this? Well, the Baal Shem Tov says that the word for ark in Hebrew is teva, and the word teva also means words. And the story of the flood, he says, is a story of every single one of us. The world out there is a raging flood, is full of raging flood waters. It's full of confusion, full of temptation, full of distractions. We all know that to be true. And sometimes we feel as if the world is pulling us down and we're really drowning in the flood around us. So God tells every Jew, Boyol Ateva, go into the ark, which means go into the words. Which words? The words are the protective words of Torah, the protective words of prayer. Go submerge yourself a little bit with some protective holy words. Daven a little bit every day. Learn a little Torah every week or every day, whatever you can. And that will become your ark, your protector, so that you don't get swept up by the flood waters out there. So God tells everyone, Boyol Ateva, come into the ark, because otherwise you would be swept up and die spiritually. At the end of it, God says, go out of the ark, because what can happen is we get so comfortable in the ark, we don't want to leave. Some people just want to be spiritual and be all their life in the world of holiness and not engage the world at all. They're so comfortable in that ark that they never want to leave it. God has to tell every Jew, no. Your job is to go out of the ark, go out of the synagogue. Once you finish praying, go out of the words of Torah and become an influence and rebuild the world and make the world a better place. So don't get too comfortable in the flood waters. Go into the ark. Recognize that you need that protection, but don't stay there. Go back out, and with that now protected environment, you can now bring that to the world and make the world a better place. And that's the message for every single one of us. I have to say I'm encouraged. After Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, I've been called by many of our community who told me that they want to start incorporating in their life a little more Torah, a little more spiritual guidance, a little more spiritual direction. They want to be connected to God a little bit more. They realize that we're living through a very tough time. This world is a world of a major deluge, a real serious flood that threatens us and our children to be completely swept up. So I'm encouraged by that. My advice to everyone is, Boyol Ateva, come into the ark, come into the words of tefillah, come into the words of prayer. If you can do it every day, great. If you can do it once a week, that's also good. Whatever you can, do it as much as you can, because the more you're protected, the more you are secure, and the more you can handle the raging waters that are out there. Good Shabbos, and all the best.